Today we received a new trailer and release date for the third episode of the amazing digital circus. In this video I'll break it down scene by scene, talk about the things I noticed and do a bit of theorising as well. So right off the bat we see the outside of the Mildenhall mansion. It is a very spooky aesthetic akin to classic cartoony shows like Scooby-Doo. My friend Iox noticed that the entire trailer is a reference to The Trapdoor, which was a 1986 British animated television series. I'll play a couple clips for a comparison. In the subsequent shot, we see the gang in the mansion. We see that everyone is participating except for Zubul, who is going to a therapy session with Kane. There's not much to be said about the interior of the mansion, except that it's dimly lit and is filled with cobwebs. Pomni and Kinger open a door. Then we see this little ghost character which we saw previously in the season trailer. It looks like this guy could be another NPC character to guide the cast, a bit like Gummy Goo or Princess Lulu in episode 2. As I said earlier, the mansion is called the Mildenhall Manor. Ghostworks revealed on Tumblr before that the ghost lady from the trailer is Mrs. Mildenhall, so it's her house. Perhaps she's the quest giver in this episode. It'll be interesting to see if she's friendly or if she's an antagonist in this one. We see Zubul and Kinger with Zubul explaining that she's not going on the adventure. Pomni's eyes fly out of her sockets. We see a quick shot of what appears to be a sewer pipe. It's too dark to see anything, but it looks like a monster could appear out of it during the episode. Kinger explains that him and Pomni will team up in this adventure, and we get a couple shots of them together. One of Pomni trying to open an elevator, and then a quick one of some creepy drawings in a drawer. One features missing children. We see some records, probably for the recorder we saw in the season trailer. For a brief second we see Kinger's pillar fort. I'm not sure what role it will play in the episode, but it's dimly lit. We see Jax and Pomni together, and Jax points a vacuum cleaner at Pomni. In the next shot we see that Kinger has lost his eye. This means that the characters can all lose body parts, a bit like Zubul in the pilot. This is really interesting, and perhaps we'll see more characters get injured like this. We see a shot of Kane, not much to examine there. The following frame shows a turnaround shot of Pomni. If you slow it down, we can see some decorations on the wall. One resembles a scary version of Jax with large teeth, and another shows a hand, so maybe this is the hand we saw in a previous sneak peek. Kinger is shocked at something. Kane and Zubul are at the therapy session. Kinger hits something with his shotgun. We see Kinger and Pomni approach the spooky sewer pipe from earlier. Jax taunts Pomni. We see Kinger and Pomni in a dark room with just their eyes visible. This is again a reference to the trapdoor from earlier. We see Pomni in a cellar beside some barrels and a literal dead corpse. This is hilarious because it's an actual photorealistic body, which stands out so much against Pomni's cartoony appearance. We see a scary head on the wall. Pomni and Kinger scream in horror at something. Kinger is in a study room. Him and Pomni talk. We see Kane and Zubul again. Kinger looks scared at something, and then we see an annoyed Zubul. We have the release date of October 4th, and my favourite gag of the trailer is at the end, where we find out that the narrator is stuck in a meat freezer with Pomni by Kane. It's pretty funny to consider that anytime someone questions Kane, he just drops them in a meat freezer as punishment, and Pomni was the first to go. The thumbnail of the trailer also depicts Pomni walking with a scary version of her as her shadow, so perhaps the cast will be tormented by evil versions of themselves. Overall, this trailer looks fantastic and a ton of fun. It's important to note, however, that Gooseworks made an announcement on Tumblr that although the episode will have some horror elements, it's not necessarily scary, so it'll follow along with the goofy humour of the previous 2 episodes, but include a couple scares and spooky moments, which I think is a great change of pace. From the looks of things, the cast are tasked with going to Mrs. Mildenhall's mansion to perhaps exorcise ghosts or retrieve something. The gang split up and chaos ensues. All the while, Zubul is in a therapy session with Kane. Personally, I'm really excited, and I'm so happy that my prediction of October for the release date was correct. It's only a couple weeks away, and I've been missing the digital circus a lot. So, what did you think of the trailer? Did you spot some of the details I noticed? Or is there anything I missed? I'd love to hear your theories for the episode in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching.